He doesn't even care about the fucking hand. I feel like I'm in love right now. We got another new one, Kaiju Girl Caramelise. Very unique romance, something about a girl turning into Godzilla. That had me intrigued. Do me a solid. Make sure you leave a like on this video, share, support, subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't already, and Patreon is where you're going to catch my full live reactions, all these and more. If the video does well enough, maybe we come back to YouTube. Either way, we will be watching it over on Patreon, because this shit seems fucking good. Oh, it's any emotion, isn't it? Any emotion that's too intense has Godzilla come out, huh? Yo, she's just like a Gretzko. She has to listen to death metal to get her anger out. He loves it. He loves the blunt honesty. No one's honest to him. When everyone sings his praise, someone being blunt is such a refreshing change of pace. Premium? Those are some thick fucking pancakes. The key to Godzilla's heart is indeed in her stomach. I'm really excited to see all the way little Godzilla parts grow on her, as fucking horrible as that is to say out loud. Like randomly getting Godzilla's tail, Godzilla's ears, some scales, right? You're gonna eat one, boy. I like them thick, so put it in your mouth. Why did it kind of look like he was sucking her off there, though? I ain't gonna lie. That was a very sensual... Like, what the fuck? Ugly freak? Stand up for us. Come on, big dog. I've already had high opinions of you. That's my Prince Charming. Oh! I'm about to bust. Jesus Christ. Why was that so good? That's hand-drawn, too. That ain't no stock footage fucking... Nope, that's just pure fucking Sakuga. Okay. Not necessarily wrong, to be fair. You know... Listen, romance anime and my channel never get along because no one really gives a fuck about romance anime. Many channels can do romance, and hell, those same channels struggle to do some isekai I can do. It is what it is. But I do think in general romance anime are not fun to cover weekly. Romance anime are best for like first and last impressions or an overall series video. I think most romance anime boil down to, oh my god, so cute. And then they say that for 20 minutes. But when you get certain shows, such as a girl turning into Godzilla, that's when you get into potentially that more interesting territory that you can actually analyze in a deeper way. And to no surprise, Kaiju Girl turned out to be fucking fantastic. The biggest surprise for me wasn't that she could turn into Godzilla because she's in love. That was the premise that was sold to me. Where it did surprise me is that emotions in general can turn her into Godzilla. Bullying at school can get her claws to start coming out, and she'll have to go into the stall and listen to death metal like she's in a Gretzko just to chill. And I think there's a lot of interesting stories to tell about someone who struggles to fit in, who seemingly was born from an egg. I mean, that's at least the foreshadowing I'm seeing. And all the people calling her ugly and, you know, basically pushing her away to be an outcast, she naturally has to hide herself. And in doing so, you're left with this very blunt person who indirectly makes someone who's known nothing but praise and positivity fall in love with you because you're the only person who's actually bluntly honest with him, where everyone else basically wants to shove roses up his ass. The key to a good romance is making both people involved in the romance memorable. Now, they don't have to equally be as good as each other. They just have to, you have to understand why the character you like so much would be in a relationship with them. And while they're not in a relationship yet, you can understand why things are going to blossom between these two. And I think the fact that I honestly just really like this guy from the beginning, he immediately proved everything I needed to see from him. He doesn't even know she's Godzilla yet, and I thought that would bother me because I thought, no, we have to get this out of the way pretty quick. But the fact that he finds her interesting, right? One of the smartest things this episode did was they established that he's clearly noticed her for a while. We didn't jump into this show and he's the transfer student. They just met. They already have a pre-established relationship. Now, she really doesn't talk with him prior to this episode, but he's obviously observed her, that you're just unapologetically yourself. You don't let what people say bother you, and honestly, you just seem very real, where everyone else is just always singing my praise. And when she criticizes him, he actually is like, thank you. Not because he enjoys being whipped, but just like, fuck, man, like, everyone's so artificial. You're just honestly genuine. I love your drawings. I love your unapologetically you attitude. Immediately, it establishes this isn't a guy just trying to get laid or manipulate a girl. Like, it's just like, He's a genuine guy who just seeks out genuine interactions, and pretty much everyone around him is completely fake and artificial. One of my favorite scenes in this episode is when he talks with her and shows her that he used to be overweight, and that's why he doesn't really like to eat fatty pancakes and stuff like that, but he enjoys seeing other people. And the fact that she just immediately Uno reverses it, that I don't give a fuck if you're a twig, I don't care if you're overweight, enjoy the goddamn pancake. That's the type of interaction that is making him clearly fall in love, because from his point of view, no one treated him well until he lost the weight. And here's a girl saying, you know, I've already been interested in you, but you're straight up saying that even if I was to look like that right now, you wouldn't treat me any different. You'd be the exact same. That's the type of genuine human interactions that you want. And the fact that he's looking at her as the most beautiful human potentially he's ever met, and she's looking at herself as the most disgusting monster on planet Earth. That type of dynamic immediately wants you to see both of them flourish and succeed together. But the best moment of the entire episode was when the bullshit bullies from her class see her with him, and they're like, oh my god, let me spread the gossip. This little bitch is manipulating him. And his reaction is, I'm gonna hold your hand and we're gonna walk off. Because fuck those fake little skanks. That was his mood. Her hand even transforms. He doesn't even notice because she's not a monster. And at some point, he will learn. I mean, there was definitely some hints in this episode that he might have assumed it could have been her, but they definitely de-escalated it enough that both the government and him don't know she's a kaiju. But I just love the ability of just showing such a monstrous tale done in such a humorous way. That's why stuff like Interviews with Monster Girls is still one of the best school anime I've ever seen, because they use monster girls to deal with prejudice and racism and stories we see in, you know, our own life, but used under the guise of vampires and other dualhans and stuff like that. Having such social anxiety and self-worth issues being presented both on a very human way with his obesity and his fear of becoming obese again and finding genuine relationships, and a girl who knows nothing but monstrous mayhem because of who she is, but just wants to be accepted as a normal girl. These two are going to be fucking perfect for each other, and I can already see how deep and complex the writing between their dynamics will be, on top of it just being a legitimately humorous show. Like, they have a lot of art styles. I think if you like stuff like Bocce the Rock or any shows where it has really ridiculous faces, she has an abundant amount of them, and they were all very, very funny. The art style is fucking awesome. Sometimes the art style was giving me Call of the Night vibes. Sometimes the backgrounds made me think of Kill Blue from the previous season. There's so many different styles they're working with, and in general, the backgrounds I really fuck with. I mean, a shot like this really represents why I like it. Now, I've seen anime use these types of backgrounds before, and people say it looks cheap. I don't understand what those people smoke. Maybe they're doing drugs similar to Chainsmoker Cat. I don't fucking know. To me, this looks like watercolor construction paper, and that doesn't make it look cheap. It makes the items in the background pop out while giving distinct differences so that you can focus on the characters. And the show has romantic aura. It has so much to work with, man. And while, of course, giant Godzilla is mostly 3D from what we see, I fucked with it. I thought it was fine. I mean, with what it needed to do, I thought it worked for the 3D. And in general, I thought this was such a beautiful episode. I don't really be like, ooh, it's 3D. Like, honestly, it's a night scene. It blended in well enough. I thought they got a lot of expressions with Godzilla's face, which it is basically Godzilla. They just can't call it that because of copyright. So in general, I think the production is exactly what I need it to be. And I leave a very happy camper. I walked in with very high expectations. I read the premise of it and I said, that sounds very fun. But it blew me away. It really did. Like, even if you really like romance anime, it's very rare that you can get up here and say, this is truly a unique romance anime that we can't compare to something in the past 5 years. But with Kaiju Girl, you absolutely can. I think it's hilarious. I think it's sweet. I think there's a lot of heart put into it. And I'm gladly going to watch more. But you can let me know if there's any demand for YouTube, if I should cover more. Either way, thoughts down below. Leave a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and yes, Patreon for live reactions and exclusives do live over there. Like, hey, you know, I got to give those video shoutouts too, because my patrons are what make it all possible over here on YouTube. So today we got Luke Brownfield, Devin Diego, Ashley Hawkham, Corbel, Casper Joel Jensen, George Para, Cargoofy, Kevin Wallace, and we also have Antonio. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You know, have a good one.